Do you think this ends happily ever after between these two?
I kind of feel like it doesn't.
I agree.
I
I
think I think the version of happily ever after that we're gonna get is just them being really good friends.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Read Option presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Jenna. Today, we will be talking about the first 7 chapters of People We Meet on Vacation, written by Emily Henry. And then also, the NFC North is unbelievable. And the Vikings are very good. We didn't lose this week. And football. I'm noticing people stop watching when we get to the football segment. So I'm tempted to do the football stuff first, just to prove to the listeners, you got to do the work. If Jenna's going to do the work and learn about football, they have to do it too. I'm not going to do it this episode, but I'm threatening it. But welcome back to the Read Option, the show where you learn about football. If you want to learn about books, you learn about that as well. Jenna, how we doing?
Good, I'm tired.
Yeah, long back to the school grind. You had fall break.
Yeah, the first day back is always exhausting.
Yeah. Well, how'd you enjoy your reading this week?
Um, I didn't do much of it.
Well, you did what we had to do, which is
I did.
only 70-ish pages,
I
first
did.
7 chapters. How would you say this is up there with the books you would normally read? This is on par?
Well, yeah, I read Emily Henry books.
Okay. So
Like
this feels
this is like one of the only ones I haven't read by her. Like I have
gotcha.
read a few of them.
Okay, good. I think this is gonna be interesting. I like this. I like how we're breaking it up too, because I feel like we can make some predictions on where this thing's gonna go.
Mhm.
I think that'll be fun.
The only thing is it is gonna be kind of full of spoilers.
Slowly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's inevitable. If we're gonna talk about a book that we're reading, I think they should know. They can either read along with us or they've already read the book. If
Yeah.
you haven't read the book, figure it out. Click pause, skip, learn about football, and then come back when you're ready to talk about the book. But before that, I got a top 5 list. Do you have one this week?
I do.
Ladies first. You can go
Okay.
unveil your list.
I did it's not really top 5, but these were just 5 fairly common football terms that I don't know what they mean.
Okay. Did you wait? Did you look up what they mean?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
you won't.
I
Okay.
I was literally scrolling through them. I literally looked up, like, football terms,
Okay.
and I didn't let myself read on. I was just looking for words that I didn't recognize.
This is gonna be really embarrassing if I can't explain it to you.
Okay.
All
Well,
right. Let's hear it.
I don't need it mansplained to me.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Okay, fine.
We'll see. Let's get into the list.
Okay, the first one is a blitz.
Okay. Would you like to know what a blitz is?
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 5 linemen, right? There's the center, 2 guards, and 2 tackles. Standard football. You have the linemen, and then you kind of match it up.
Is that offense and defense?
That's offensive setup.
Okay.
Defensive, there's different formations.
Okay.
Basically, a blitz is when you send more guys to rush the quarterback than they have linemen.
Oh.
So if I'm set, and it doesn't always have
You're
to add
trying
up.
to sack him, you're trying to put some pressure on him?
Yes. So you're sacrificing
The
being able to
long
cover
play.
their receivers by hoping you get to the quarterback fast enough so they can't make the read. So
Okay.
basically putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Okay.
That's the safest definition of a blitz.
Okay. The next one is an audible.
Okay. All right, what do you think an audible is? I think you can reason this one out. Like if I call an
Well,
audible,
it
what
makes
do you think that means?
it makes me think of it has something to do with, like, audio?
No, you know this. You know if I say, "Hey, let's call an audible. We're gonna go to this place," and I call an audible. We go
You
to a different
change your
place.
mind last minute.
So now apply that to
You
football.
change the play
Yes.
you're running last minute.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So they call the play in the huddle, ready, break. They get to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback's like, "Oh crap, I don't like this defense. This play is not going to work against that defense." He's going to call an audible. He's like, "Blue for Omaha, Omaha." You can check the different plays and then
Okay.
call an audible.
Okay.
This feels like an effective something where I don't know. I like this. I feel like you're learning something here.
I feel like I am too.
That's good.
Okay. A pylon.
Oh, pylon, like Pylon.
Yeah.
It's just the little orange things in the corner of the end zone.
In the corner of like those little tiny things.
Yeah, those little tiny things.
Oh, that doesn't even deserve a name.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they reach for the pylon.
Okay.
Because if you cross that, touchdown.
Okay. A muff.
So when they punt the ball goes way up in the air, try to catch it, and if I don't catch it, I muff the punt. It's like a fumble, but on a punt or kick.
Okay. Finally, a flea flicker.
Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so flea flicker is when hike the ball, hand the ball off to the running back. Running back pretends to run forward, takes like 2 steps forward, and then pitches it back to the quarterback. And then the quarterback.
A trick play.
It's a trick play, 100%.
Okay.
Do you know what a hook and ladder is?
Nope.
Another trick play. Put this in that category. Throw the ball to receiver catches it, and then pitches it to another receiver.
Travis Kelce kind of does that a lot.
Yes, he does. Great observation there, Jenna.
Yep.
Travis Kelce does that pretty recklessly, I would say. I don't think it's always called. Sometimes, yeah, you can call the play and set it up so the receiver is like you're crossing at the same time.
He kind of has a reckless personality.
He does, but
a little impulsive.
When it works, it looks great.
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. My top 10 is
top 10.
Whoa. You're right. I don't know why I'm used to top 10 too. So it's top 5.
Like, did you do 10?
No, I barely got 5 here. So, but my top 5 is on brand for the book we are reading. It's just top 5 vacation spots. If I was in this situation where our girl Poppy is, where would I want to go? What would be my top 5 spots? So this was pretty rushed list, so I'm open to suggestions. Number 5, New Zealand. I think New Zealand would rock. I'm not going specifics. I don't know the specifics of New Zealand too much, but I just want to go to the country. I think it'd be a cool spot to be in. Number 4, I want to go to Rome. I think just the historical aspects of it would be very cool. I feel like I would learn a lot. It'd be more of an educational trip.
Well, I was going to say there's a difference between, I don't know. Sometimes you go on vacation to like relax.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you go on vacation for like the history or the excursions more so.
This would be the
that's the history. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3, definitely not the same as Rome. I have been here, but it would be fun to have an all expensive paid trip. Going back to Vegas.
100%.
Yeah, I mean Vegas you have to put on the list. I can't comprehend Vegas existing in America. It just feels like a place that's so fish out of water. It's like Ibiza. It's its own ecosystem where it's like this place isn't real. Like I can't believe people live and operate here every day.
That's a good point.
It's so surreal.
What really blows my mind is that they have a football team for some reason.
Yeah, but they're mostly outside of actual like Vegas.
I know, but still.
They're out in Henderson basically.
Well, they should be called the Henderson.
It doesn't quite
Raiders
market itself as much. Number 2, Australia, probably Sydney, but I could be convinced other places. I think Sydney, Australia would be.
You can't get behind the wildlife there.
Well, yeah, I'm not
spiders and stuff.
I'm not chilling out in the outback. I'll be in the city.
I'm not talking about that. The spiders are everywhere.
I think that's overblown a little bit.
You should look them up.
I know they're pretty intense, but I think I'll be okay.
They are.
Number 1, clear 1 here is Ireland. I want to go to Ireland so bad.
That would be cool.
Like number 1 spot, Ireland. I think would be great. Fantastic.
Very cool. Do you like Guinness?
I do. I enjoy a nice little Guinness, but I'm not going strictly for the Guinness, but it's a nice little bonus.
Okay.
What would be your number 1?
Oh, God, you can't put me on the spot like that.
That's just such a very surface level question.
My number 1 vacation spot?
Yeah, like it's dream vacation spot.
Like Greece, maybe?
Okay. You're acting like I asked you, like, tell me your darkest secret.
Well,
Let's
no,
just
I
say,
just,
where'd you
like,
want to go?
I'm not a big traveler, so I don't really think about that kinda stuff often.
Okay. Sorry for challenging you
It's
for
kind of
thinking
out
about
of
it.
reach as a teacher to go on vacation.
You have the entire. What? Disagree.
I mean money-wise.
Okay. Different argument. I was gonna say you have your entire summer.
That's true.
All right. Let's get into the book. So again, for those listening, we are only talking about the first 70 pages ish, first 7 chapters. We're gonna take this piece by piece. We'll see how far we get next week. But again, so neither of us have read this before. We don't know where this is gonna go. We can make some predictions on where we think this story
I
is gonna
didn't
end up.
even read the summary on the back, the synopsis.
Me either.
Well, don't read
I,
it
I'm
now!
not going to. Not
Might
going
give
to.
something away.
Um, okay, so I think first thing we start with here is just kind of the format overall. I like it how each chapter is at a different place in the little timeline here.
It goes back and forth.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
like that. I think that works well.
Between the present and when she met her friend in college.
Yeah, so it's basically like this summer and then it goes all the way back to what, 12 summers ago
Yes.
when they first met.
Mhm.
I don't like her name.
You don't?
I don't like Poppy.
Oh.
I love the soda, but it's too, I don't know, it just doesn't sound right when I say it. I don't picture like main protagonist woman Poppy.
That's fair.
It doesn't feel right to me. And then Alex is such a basic name.
Yeah, but then her friend's name I can hardly pronounce. The girl?
The boss, you mean?
Oh, yeah, the boss.
It's her boss. It's like I believe it's an Indian name, if I may say so.
Swapna.
Yeah.
Swapna, yeah.
I do like her friend Rachel though.
I do too.
Fun, cool girl. I like her entire take on just like she's an influencer, not like by choice. It's
Mhm.
just like her job because I think it's a refreshing take on it. It's like, and she hates it. She's like, I hate that I have to do this. And I like that she posts like what, once a month, she said, where she's like, this is real, or like,
Oh, yeah.
like, this isn't real. My life's fake. I'm showing you an idealized version of my life.
Mhm.
And then she's pissed that people still just like don't care about that,
Yeah.
which is too real, way
I
too real. Anything else about the characters? Like just starting off, anyone rub you the wrong way? What do you think of Alex?
I just don't feel like we know much about him yet. This is where I really like to read books that have multiple perspectives. Like a
Mhm.
lot of the books I read go back and forth between like the female and the male because you kind of get their opinion on things as well. Where right now all we know is what Poppy's told us.
True.
So I
But
feel like we're missing a little bit of Alex's perspective. But
I kind of like it that way because we're slowly getting, it's a slow burn, like peeling back different layers of him. Like, who is this dude?
yeah.
Like, even just getting, and like the car ride when they first met, they're going back, they're driving back to their town in Ohio, and you just slowly start to see him like opening up
Mhm.
and become, I think you don't, it would almost be overload if you got his perspective of that as well. Just my thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think there's a small chance maybe like the second half of the book is just his perspective?
No.
Zero chance.
Yeah. 0.
Have you read a book like that before where it just flips halfway through? That'd be a cool idea for a book.
No, but I have read. No.
That would be interesting if it's like the same, like half this book is the entire plot of what they're trying to get to, and then the other half is Alex's point of view from that. It'd be very hard to pull off without being boring because you would know how certain plot points go through, but I think that
I think okay, so when I say I read books like that from both perspectives, it's not like the girl's chapter and then the boy's chapter is the same but his perspective on it. Like it still goes
yeah,
forward in time.
yeah, it's not the same plot
Yeah. Well,
events.
Right. Yeah.
but it's just carrying the forward story from a different perspective. But I don't know. I'm fine with it. I don't have an issue
I don't
with
have an
it being
issue
from.
with it either,
You opened up with the, I wish it was different
but
perspectives,
sometimes I just think it's interesting when it is. I wish I knew more about how he is handling the situation. And I
which
really wanna know what happened in Croatia.
so that's the big question mark
I
here.
know, that's what they're leaving up to our imagination right
They
now.
have this falling out. So they go on these, I guess we kind of jumped right into it. Backstory.
Yeah.
These two friends, Alex and Poppy, they go on these vacations once a summer, week-long vacations to these exotic places through Poppy's work because she is it
The
sounds like
travel
she's
blogger.
yeah, she started as like her own personal blogger, how to vacation cheaply,
Yeah.
and then now she's hired by a more highbrow publication. So now she's kind of put that to the side and just like, hey, look at all these fancy, cool things, which kind of mirrors what her friend Rachel does. She's
Yeah.
like, I don't love that I'm doing this flashy, luxurious lifestyle, even though it's kind of fake. But yeah, they do that once every summer up until 2 summers ago, according
Mhm.
to this timeline. And something happened in Croatia. They had this fight and they hadn't talked to each other in 2 years, and now they're rekindling.
Mm.
What do you think the fight was?
I have to think it my first thought was that it has to do something with, like, one of them having feelings for the other,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's described that way
I feel,
because I think
yeah,
there would be more awkwardness.
yeah, I agree.
Like, I know it's awkward because they haven't talked to each other in a long time, but I don't think the awkwardness is coming from them, like, one of them turning each other down.
There hasn't been a ton of hints at a
No,
romantic
not
relationship.
until I felt like the very end of chapter 7 where she, like, described
Yes.
him.
Yeah. Then she's like, "Oh, I'm into this guy,"
Yeah,
which I don't know what to do with that. I can't understand their dynamic at all.
I know. I also just already think it's kind of a strange dynamic because they're talking about how they each had their own relationships going on, yet they still took these trips together every summer.
Yeah.
Like,
So
they
they
must be really mature.
Yeah. I don't know. That's so yeah, you would think the obvious answer is this fight
Mhm.
is one of them either, but I feel like they're close enough or they're described as being close enough where like if one of them opened up and said like, "Oh, I have feelings in this direction," I don't think that would lead to them not talking for 2 years.
I don't think so
It was
either.
described as a fight, which I don't think that leads to a
I
fight.
know.
I don't know what that could be over. Maybe okay,
I don't
could
know,
be
but she
this.
does kinda bring up Sarah a lot.
So, it could have been Poppy mentions, "I have feelings, you should break up with Sarah."
Mhm. Or, like, "I don't think Sarah's good enough for you."
Yes. Yeah, maybe she never explicitly said, "I have feelings for you," but like, "Hey, you should break up with your girlfriend,"
Yeah.
which implies and then at the very end, she'll finally confess. Which do you think this ends happily ever after between these 2?
I kinda feel like it doesn't.
I agree.
I
I
think I think they're the version of happily ever after that we're gonna get is just them being really good friends.
now that I think about I just don't that would feel very unsatisfactory if it just goes back to how they were at the very beginning of this book. The very beginning of the book, even like I'm talking about like the prologue.
Mhm.
There's just this fun, witty banter between two people who are very different and they're very good friends.
Yeah.
And then it just ends with that. What we didn't really accomplish anything.
Well, you don't have to accomplish I mean, you kinda did accomplish something because they went from not talking for 2 years then to maybe, like, laying the boundary of their
No.
relationship.
Also strange that he was just, hey, come to this wedding.
Yeah.
So they hadn't talked for 2 years. They start texting and then, hey, let's go on this trip, which she lies to him about paying for the trip. So she says it's through her company. Her company didn't want her to go there. So she said, I'm just going to take my vacation days basically and do an actual vacation, do it the old school way that she used to, go cheap. And she didn't tell him that. I don't feel like that should lead to a fight, but I feel
But
like
it
it might.
probably will.
It's probably going to. That's
Yeah.
going to come up at some point later in this book. And he's going to be like, why did you lie to me about you're paying for this on your own dime? Because Alex seems like the very traditional, like, I'm not going to let you spend all this money on me without me knowing about it. Because then now I should pay for this, even though I'm a lit teacher in Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's going to come back up. Anything else that's going to, from these first 7 chapters, that's going to be some foreshadowing?
The Rachel, Sarah.
Sarah's definitely.
How Poppy thinks that he and Sarah are like on again or whatever.
Is she going to be at
But
this
then
wedding?
wouldn't she be going to the wedding?
That's what I'm
But
saying. Is she
maybe
going to be,
because they're so on and off, he didn't invite her.
or could
I just feel like
Sarah be friends with the
something's
family
gonna happen
still?
to Sarah.
Sarah could be friends with that family still, and then
Yeah, but why would he
still
do that?
go. Yeah, that'd be a dumb move by him.
Yeah.
Because right now, again, like we said, we're getting only Poppy's perspective. Alex sounds perfect in a weird, awkward kind of way, but like she's framing it in like a wholesome way.
Yes.
Like there's no negatives. There's got to be some red flags here. He can't just be perfect. Or maybe he is.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Maybe he has some like underlying anger issues or something.
I think they both have commitment issues at this point because they both like each other.
How old
right?
do you think they are? Oh wait, we would know.
Good.
Because
Do we know?
they're 30.
Oh yeah, I guess if
they met their freshman year of college and that was 12 summers ago, so they would have been like 18.
Quick math. Good. Yeah, they're around 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean at that point, if you're doing 10 years of these vacations together.
Yeah, it's strange. And their banter is very interesting as well.
Yeah, it's very they understand each other's humor very quick. It's very quick and witty, which I appreciate. It's funny. There's some funny banter in there. But all right, any other predictions for this? And then how far do we want to read for next time?
I don't think I have any other predictions yet.
Okay. I think we'll meet Sarah in whatever's next section I think honestly.
I think we read to like 200.
Bold. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. He is still dating Sarah currently, and she, for some reason,
thinking like, what if she got off the plane to meet him and he like had Sarah with him?
I think Sarah was a last minute, like, oh, I can't make the wedding, and then it just happened that Poppy was texting him during that time, and it just worked out, and then that's gonna lead to like this huge fight. But then because there's no way he would do that if their fight was over Sarah in Croatia.
Or
so maybe he's a crazy person, but that'd be a crazy move. But that's my bold prediction. I think Alex is currently dating Sarah, and we'll find out. Let's try. We can read more this week. Do you want to say
chapter 20, which is page 200?
I was saying almost further than that.
Why don't we just finish it?
You want to finish this book? Are we going crazy? Let's say we could read to like 28.
Page is that?
Oh wait, but that back half of this book is just chapters for the next book.
What?
It's like a preview for her next book.
That's the last like 10 pages.
I do get a very I want to tie this back into movies. It's incredibly
I accidentally just read the last page.
Did you really? No, you didn't. Like right now? Don't say anything.
I didn't read the whole thing. I just caught a line.
That's crazy. Why would you even do that?
That's how I read books sometimes.
That's insane. Anyways, I think it would be fun if new segment as we read books, and I'm becoming king of the books, as some people are calling me that. Not me, not you. You don't have to call me that. Some people are, though. It's okay.
Nobody's calling you that.
Some people are. They can remain nameless. I wouldn't do that to them. I don't want to air that out publicly, but some people are. I wouldn't do that. I'm not a hero, just a man. But I would like to make a new segment where, as this started out, let's compare movies. I can kind of draw stuff from the book that reminds me of certain movies. This is very much When Harry Met Sally.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's very much the same setup, because When Harry Met Sally, the first time they meet is they have to drive home from like college together. And they're polar opposites. And it's always this push and pull. Will they, won't they? And at the very end, Billy Crystal gives an incredible monologue. It's like, when you decide that this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, you want that time to start right now. And it's great. New Year's Eve, it's great. Anyways, this is a modern day When Harry Met Sally currently. So if that goes according to the movie, they'll end up together happily ever after. It'll take a little bit, though. All right. Cool.
Wait, what are we reading to?
Oh, you're right.
250?
Let's say, 252. So through chapter 25.
Okay.
That feels fair. And then we can have some final prediction. I feel like we should leave the last third.
Okay.
As long as we can read each book in like thirds, I think that feels right.
Okay.
All right, cool. So for those reading along with us, that'd be so fun if someone's like actually reading with us. Or I'm guessing most people watching this have read the book fully, so they're probably just entertained at how dumb our guesses are. But
yeah, probably.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll read up to chapter 25 for next week. Let's talk about some NFL football. Week 6 in the books. Vikings bye week. Didn't lose this week. It was great. Who did win this week is the entire NFC North. The NFC North, Jenna, is putting on a historic display of dominance right now. All 4 teams are absolutely rolling through the rest of the league. The Bears are 4-2. The Lions are 5-1. The Packers are 4-2. The Vikings are 5-0. Our entire division is 2 games above 500. I'm getting worried now.
Above 500? I don't know what that means.
Let's sound it out.
500?
Yeah. Is this a sports term? I guess it would be, yeah. So 500 is like if I'm 3-3. I'm 500.
Okay.
If I'm above 500, I'd be like 4-3 or 5-3 or 7-2.
Did you think I didn't know how to pronounce 500?
No, I was saying sound it out jokingly.
Sound it out.
Like, let's reason it out, but
there was no reasoning that one.
We can reason it out a little bit, and we can think about like 500 would be the average. So like
50-50.
Yes. But I'm like winning percent. So it's basically based off winning percentage. If I'm 4-4, my winning percentage is 500. 0.500. This is as I've explained
5.
it.
You could say 5, or would you even say 500?
You're asking great questions. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's just I don't know why we take it out that many decimal places. But yeah, it's 0.5. So basically, the winning percentage would be shown at 0.500. So they say 500. If you're above 500, you're above that line, and you've won more games than you've lost. And now I feel dumb explaining this because
now my head hurts.
Yeah, it's a very simple thing that I thought was, maybe
that's the whole point of the show.
You're right. This is, look at us.
You're totally gonna clip that.
So 6-3 pop quiz.
Huh?
Above or below 500?
6, huh?
If I'm 6-3.
That's 9 games.
If my record is 6-3, am I above or below 500?
Above.
If my record is 4-5.
Anything that's less than. If your record's what?
Yes, 4-5.
Then you're below.
Okay, now let's do crazy pop quiz. Cincinnati Bengals right now, are they below or above 500?
Below.
Nice. Oh, this is fun. Let's do.
Hey, I don't want to be quizzed.
No, this is good. We're seeing what we know. Indianapolis Colts, above or below 500?
Below.
Slightly above. I believe they are now.
I was gonna say that.
No, I think they're back to 500. I think they're 3
I was
and
gonna
3.
say that too.
Let me double check. I should know this. I watched the entire Colts game yesterday because, again, my Vikings were on a bye, so all the roommates wanted to watch the Colts game, and the Colts aren't very good. They're not a good football team. Joe Flacco, though. Let's talk about the Colts. Actually, the Colts are 3 and 3, by the way, so they are 500.
They are 500.
The last 2 games, Joe Flacco at quarterback, the old guy, 38.
I thought the other guy was maybe gonna come back this game.
So he was probably healthy enough to play. They chose not to, which begs the question: are they better off with Joe Flacco?
We talked about this last week too, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think it's even more apparent now that
they seem a little nervous to put him back in.
I think
there's some hesitation there.
Because ultimately the goal of an NFL football team, an NFL head coach, an NFL organization is to win football games. They are winning football games right now with Joe Flacco. It's not pretty. It's an ugly brand of football, but they're winning football games. Now, do you sacrifice potentially not winning those football games with putting your quarterback in there, your young guy that's going to supposedly be your franchise quarterback for the next decade, and get him reps to get him to the point where he can be your franchise guy? Or do you just win games now? It's a tough call. I don't know. What do you think, Jenna, as a outsider looking in? What do you think? What's the move? Do you win now or build for the future if you're the Colts?
I think week 6 we're a little too far in to start building. I think they should keep it how it is for the season.
Ride with Joe Flacco?
The playoffs. Yeah.
Okay.
Give the other guy a chance next time.
Just let him. That's the thing, is he just can't stay healthy. He has not been healthy.
Well, another
this
reason.
Is year 2.
You want him to be your franchise quarterback then?
You're asking good questions. Good questions.
I know.
So that's where the Colts are at, though. They're back to 500. Let's start. I didn't want to do this now because I don't want to get my hopes up. But I think we're at the point in the season where we need to start talking playoff picture a little bit.
Oh, God.
Just the idea of when it comes to the NFC North. So the way the playoffs work, do you remember how there's 7 playoff teams?
Yep.
Do you remember how those teams are decided?
The winner of their conferences, right?
Divisions.
So
there's 4 division winners.
Yep.
And then 3
and then there's wild cards.
Yes, 3 wild cards. So the wild cards go to the best records of non-division winners.
Yep.
Right now, the entire NFC North would make the playoffs.
But they're in the same
division. So only one of them can win the division. The other 3 would all have to be wild cards.
Okay.
Which has never happened in NFL history. It probably won't happen. But right now, we're just dominating. Okay. But that is what concerns me. So I could win my division and be like, have a terrible team, but as long as I'm the best in my division, I'd still make the playoffs.
Right.
That's the hard thing about being in a good division is you could.
One of those rules that needs to change.
Tell me about it. But anyways, right now, it's tough because you're fighting against our own division. You want to win the division very badly because that guarantees you a home playoff game. So if you win the division, you host the first round of the playoffs.
And then the wild cards come to you?
Yes, the wild cards are on the road. And then the number 1 overall seed
gets a bye,
which is huge because then you're only 2 wins from the Super Bowl, which would be incredible. But yeah, so now we got to keep an eye on this. Vikings coming up next week. We play the Detroit Lions. They are 4-1, 5-1 now, 5-1. We're 5-0. The winner of that game.
Wait, wasn't the guy on the Lions the one that snapped his leg?
Did you see that?
I couldn't watch it. I saw clips of it and I scrolled past because I knew it was going to happen. I couldn't.
Is bad. It was
Yeah.
really bad. It was a weird injury too, because I was watching it live and they showed the replay live like 3 or 4 times because they didn't know what they were looking for. And then once they found out that it was his left leg, you could see it in the replay, and it just
Eesh.
it bent ways it should not bend. It
Yikes.
was weird because when it cut to him, they showed him down injured. He was like taking his gloves off, and like I thought he was hurt his hand or his wrist, but he
Oh.
was really just like, "I'm out. It's broke. Get me out of here."
Oh.
So, he's one of the best pass rushers in the league.
Well, then that could really hurt them.
Yes, Aiden Hutchinson. Prayers up for him. Hate to see that because it's one of those moments where the game doesn't matter anymore, and it was a blowout by any means, so it doesn't really matter. But like all the players are like, this sucks, just on a human level. Like the fact that
Yeah.
this guy's playing at a very high level and then has to just end his season right there sucks. So, but yeah, we play the Lions on Sunday. Big division game because the winner of that game will be in the number 1 top spot in the NFC North, even though Vikings are 5-0. So this is now the most important game of the season. Put it all on the line. Got to win this game. We'll see how that goes. All right, a few more things NFL wise. 2 teams that stink. Do you remember the teams that stink? We're not going to talk about the Panthers. They continue to stink, but not as bad.
The Jaguars.
Yes, Jaguars very bad. They played in London this week, and
A lot of London games.
they have to stay in London. They're playing back-to-back games in London,
That's weird.
which is very strange, and it has to be a long week for them because they played so bad, and then they have to just stay there. And people thought their coach might get fired, which would be really funny if he has to fly all the way back after getting fired in London.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
I think I'm ready to be done with Trevor Lawrence. I think he might be done.
He played okay last week.
He did against the Colts.
Yeah.
He's just he's never going to be the guy.
Do you think he was just, I mean, sometimes you have those really good, look at me acting like I know what I'm talking about.
It's just good. Yeah, it's just talk ball.
I feel like sometimes it doesn't translate to those who are really good in college and then they come to the NFL and they're just like, it doesn't translate to professional football.
Yeah, it's weird because he was one of the because obviously there's certain traits that they think will translate. Like Tim Tebow, for example, great college quarterback. No one who has a brain thought that would translate to the NFL.
Right.
It's a great story, very likable guy, but he just didn't have the traits that would. It's a different level. It's a different sport than college football.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence, he has all the traits.
Yeah.
The size, the arm talent, it's there. And then he showed it in college. So everyone thought like this just has to translate. Like he has all the physical attributes to make it translate, and it just hasn't.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes it just doesn't.
And at this point, I think I don't want to write the guy off, but some people are in bad situations, bad organizations, like my quarterback, Sam Darnold. They get a fresh start and they play better. I don't even know if that's the case for Trevor Lawrence. I think he's just done. He is what he is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to be the guy to lead you to a Super Bowl. And that sucks because he's getting paid a lot of money. And now as a Jaguars fan, that has
a lot of resources kind of being wasted. Is that what you mean by the money?
And then you're like, if he's not going to lead me to a Super Bowl, if he can't be our guy, you always start the conversation of let's go find the next guy.
Yeah.
If you don't have a guy, you go look for a guy. That's every NFL team in the league is either has their guy or is looking for their guy. That's it. Those are the 2 camps. And
who is their backup?
Their backup is a guy named Mac Jones, who very similar situation, was never as highly touted as Trevor Lawrence, but he was the Patriots quarterback post Tom Brady for like 3 years.
Oh.
And he was so bad. So bad. And then now he's the backup for Trevor Lawrence. And so now that quarterback room is atrocious.
How do they still play when they are bad?
because it's hard to find good quarterbacks, so you need backups that can step in and just run an offense for a little bit. So if you've been the starter for a long time, you know how an NFL offense is ran, so you can kind of step in and
Kind of just a body.
literally, it's literally just a body. I mean, there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe 16, not even half of them are like good enough to put your trust behind. So I don't know. It's a very difficult spot to be in. So it's very few. If you have someone who's decent, you keep them. They bounce around the league for a little bit, and they make it. You can have a good career as a journeyman backup. So that's another situation to keep an eye on. The other bad team.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Okay.
Did you just say it?
I said the name of one of their quarterbacks.
You were gonna say Deshaun Watson.
I was. For what team? Drum roll, please.
Seahawks.
So close. Try again.
I don't know.
Midwest team.
Quit doing that. It's making me have anxiety.
Giving you a drum roll.
I don't know.
Cleveland.
The Browns.
The Browns. He's bad. He's historically bad now. And at this point, I guess good, because he's just sitting there suffering. And he's not the best person, so just kind of let him suffer. But it sucks for everyone else in the Cleveland Browns organization who's working their butts off to win games. And then you have this bad person and arguably even worse quarterback, which is saying something because he's a pretty bad person. But he's that bad at quarterback right now, which it's just shocking. Yeah. So that's basically it with him. It's just I have to reiterate each week how bad he is.
Did the Jets have a bye?
The Jets play tonight.
Oh,
Jets.
that'll be interesting with a new coach.
Yep, new coach versus Josh Allen, Haley Steinfeld's boyfriend.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. You think they're gonna win tonight?
Yep.
You're gonna look like a big dumb stupid idiot if they lose.
No, I'm not.
Comes out tomorrow.
Nobody trusts my opinion anyway.
Give a bold prediction for tonight's game, and I'll just clip it and put it out tonight before the.
The Bills and the Jets, right?
Bills -2.5 versus the Jets. Give us your bold.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 3 interceptions.
3 interceptions tonight.
Yep.
In a loss? Blowout loss?
Not a blowout, but a loss.
Okay. All right. Will the Bills win by more than 2.5?
2.5 touchdowns?
2.5 points.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Final score prediction.
Oh, God. Don't
If you get this right, you're a legend.
Don't do 7, 14. I'm going to say 24-14.
24-14. All right, you heard it here first. Bills are going to win 24-14. If she's right, let's put the final score on the screen right now. It's going to be incredible. All right, anything else you got before we wrap up?
Nope.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We will be back next week with more of this book read and more to talk about. Mm-hmm. All right. See everyone next week. Peace.